If I go to the right stream, that'd be perfect. Okay, I think we're back. How is everybody?
As good as can.
Fantastic.
Considering
Good.
we're in the middle of a hag's lair.
Yeah. There's that too. And it's been a while, so I took the liberty to go ahead and write up what happened last time. So I didn't have to force any of you to do it. Oh, Jasmine for the bits.
Ooh.
Aren't you just a lovely person?
Oh, I see. I see. My re-stuff doesn't get mentioned, but her bitch do. I see how it is, sir.
Wow. Way to be a jerk.
Hey,
I've given you 5 months of my life.
I've given you like a year of
You
Patreon.
really have. You really have. Go.
$5, $10, you know. It is what it is, right? Okay, well, so previously on the Maelstrom of Blades, the lady's shadow has fallen over them all, and those that were lucky enough to only be in the peripherals were merely just vanished from existence, thrown into an endless abyss of her mazes, and as a symbol of her mercy, they escape with their lives, and mostly whole. Save the Paladin Greenwave, of course, whom she took an arm as penance for his mocking tongue. They found themselves walking the winding, infinite tunnels of her mazes, and if not for the clever writings and sigils of what appears to be maybe Greenwave's alter ego, his other half, they may have wandered for all of time. But at the end of the road, they met this entity, made of thousands of rodent bodies and this capless, brain-exposed heads that were just throbbing with magical essence. A hive known only as many as one. And deep in that lair, they each pay a price of blood. And a price of regret to the stone-barbed doorway, vanishing one by one into the recesses of the hag's nest. Tossed forth across space and time, seemingly trading a prison of stone for a prison of a black barbed razor vine, looming in on them at all sides. The guardians of the maze pressed down upon them, these twisted mechanizations of razor vine, terrible and powerful, and they brought the party to their knees, and just threatened to bleed them dry of their mortal coil. And after a terrible battle, they found themselves victorious, but licking their wounds. Yet they pressed into the heart of the prison to stand before the hag, Revel. She seemed pretty much ignorant to their presence until Greenwave spoke. In an instant, this body just animated towards him and spoke of a love lost and experiments failed. And behind her, his old body stood within a glass mausoleum, like this terrible trophy that she had built, an altar of her desire. And she asked her questions to him. And what could change the nature of a man, Greenwave? Love was his reply. Love for a father for his daughter. And as the party watched on, the hag gave an approving nod. And then the Paladin Greenwave melted from the inside out before their very eyes. And here, surrounded by the maze of black barbs, sliced and bloody, rotting and torn, Greenwave said goodbye to his old self. Awakening once again in his former vessel, in this sea of brine, and with one well-placed fist, released himself of the cage. He stood before them anew. Well, here they stand, bartering for their own freedom, for the location of the Book of Vile Darkness. But there's a heavy price and a choice that lies before them, for the hag wishes only a lifetime of companionship for this information. Skipper, Filbert, Scarlet Greenwave, Syrian Junic, you must now all decide if one stays, or if you all try to flee. And what terrible price each of those decisions may carry. So, we'll begin here, in episode 14, The Sister of Yaga. Players.
Well,
Well-
I for one vote that none of us stay.
Scarlett's just gonna look over at Greenwave and very clearly say, "You got us into this mess. You get us out of this mess." We're doing this for you, so I hope you have an idea of how to get back out of here.
He kind of stretches and cracks and is still getting used to his new vessel for all intents and purposes, and has kind of like gone and regathered all his things from his melted corpse.
Right. Yeah, you still have this, like, a little bit of lethargy just sort of in your limbs. It's not debilitating, but like you said, it's definitely stiff.
Yeah. You say you seek companionship, hag.
Oh, yes. As the Yuan-Ti has pointed out. It's lonely here for poor Ravel. You wouldn't wish to leave her alone again, would you?
And what if I were to offer Onyx?
She cocks her head. What of him? How?
How? Well, I may know where he is, and knowing him and me, that's still really weird to say. He seems to have some form of regret.
Can you prove this?
Prove that he has regret?
Twice you have deceived poor Ravel. Not a third time will Ravel take.
Excuse me, Ravel. May I ask you something?
She, her look towards you, like, when she looks at Greenwave, she has, like, a concerned look, almost like a starstruck lover at the same time, but when she looks to you, her face just instantly contorts to, like, this anger. Her eyes piercing you. What is it you wish?
I was going to ask if you're familiar with the spell geese.
Ravel has forgotten more than you'll ever know. Of course Ravel knows a geese.
Why don't you put that on Greenwave? Compel him to bring back Onyx Tide. If you want insurance, that is.
She snaps her head back to Greenwave, and there's that crackle of bone and sinew that sort of twists on itself. Would you agree to such things?
If you provide us not only with the information that Scarlet here seeks and the way out, and also the way out, then yes, I would.
And you will bring me Onyx Tide?
I will send him to you.
She turns and puts a hand towards the direction of the mausoleum. In an instant, it reforms. And the water starts to bubble up from underneath and slowly start to fill it once more. Ravel can agree to this. Yes, Ravel can. Come here, Greenwave.
For extra insurance, Ravel, I can try to geese Onyx Tide. If he doesn't want to. I'll make him come back.
Well, regardless, Greenwave is going to agree to this. Or I will fetch his bloated Lemure body from hell itself if I must.
Greenwave steps forward, still kind of sluggish.
She reaches up to this mess of hair that she has. It almost looks like branches, really, as opposed to hair itself. And she grabs a strain and starts to pull it. And you know how hair just kind of snaps out? Her sort of slides from her skull, leaving like this stringy black ooze as it parts from her flesh. She brings you forward and starts to wrap it around your wrist. These fingers, nails that are probably a good 4 to 5 inches long, carefully maneuvering them around your wrist. And you feel this enchantment start to take hold of you. Do you resist? Okay. So you are now under the effects of the Geas spell.
Yes.
Yes, this pleases Rabble, and Rabble does not wish to be alone forever.
Real quick, Sav.
Yes.
So I'm assuming he would know. Is the geese duration 30 days, 1 year, or is it until he actually completes it? Because there are 3 durations for it.
Yes, for purposes of this, it was cast as a 9th level spell.
Okay, so it lasts until you do what needs to be done.
Yep.
And I will tell Greenway is like, I can do the same for Onyx Tide to get him back here if we need to.
That may not be necessary.
Well, you're looking for the book's location. Yes. Well, why don't you go find Onyx Tide and that whore of a daughter of yours? I'm sure they can tell you, since they are the ones who took it from me.
Find one, find the other.
Well, that's one part of it down.
Hopefully there's not already an arcana loth deep within the sigil that's already looking for them. That would be a tragedy.
Wait, what's looking for them?
I believe you know her as Shemeska?
Oh, great.
Now then, the way out.
Ah, yes. You merely just must go to the edges of my prison, fold your arms around yourself oh so lovingly, and lean back and let the vines catch you. And they will take you to the last place that it was last used. Curious.
Go to the edge and
Yes.
let the thorns embrace.
Any edges you need to go to. But you will go to wherever the last person left to. Wherever Onyx Tide went.
Alright. We got what we need.
Are we sure that she's telling the truth?
I'll take an insight check for 200, Alex.
You may go ahead and roll for it. Let me get this back. Hags are hard to read. Their very nature itself tends to be of a hidden. You feel she may be telling the truth? Perhaps a hint of something buried beneath.
Well, only one way to find out if this is gonna work. Shall we go to one of the edges and, I guess, let the thorns embrace us?
I suppose we
Yeah.
don't have any other choice.
Green wave kind of goes over and leans into the wall.
Okay, so you perform the little ritual. And the instant you do, the vines reach out and lash around you and pull you into their depths and from existence. Do the rest of you follow?
Yeah. Scarlet will be like, well, that's the way out.
Yep.
Excellent.
I
Same
follow
here.
too.
Okay.
Eunuch.
Yep.
You all follow this. And let us change pages. Were you awake, or not awake, I should say, because you're not falling asleep or passing out by any means, but where you returned to is like a small alley. Not sigil proper, very similar in construction, but there is definitely like a cavernous walls around you, over top of you. Very dry air. It has a stench of unwashed bodies. Sounds of carts rolling down the street, of footsteps, light chatter. You're not quite sure where you're at. Has a very similar feeling, though.
I'm not quite sure if we're back in the cage or.
As soon as he can get up, Greenwave's gonna sluggishly kind of work himself up
Okay.
and start moving towards the nearest opening to see if we can see where he is.
Okay. So you sort of slant yourself down the alleyway, looking onto the street. And you know how the town on the Infinite Staircase had that feel of being portable, very like makeshift structures that can be torn and put together apart easily. It's the same feeling you get from these structures. A few persons walking down the street to your right, pushing a cart, seems to be filled with some sort of debris. No real inclination of where you might be. Doesn't seem to be a hostile place by any means, though.
I'm gonna walk up behind Greenwave and go, I don't know about you, but I think we all need some rest.
Maybe we should ask around for the nearest tavern, or.
I'll go ask around. Since I'm the friendliest
Exactly.
of the group.
Oh,
We should
Filbert.
see where-
I'll go with you.
Plus,
We should
I have
definitely see
rustic
where we can
rustic
Yeah.
hospitality too.
Filbert, if you can find us a place that's safe to stay, and find out where we are. We need to get our bearings anyway and figure out where your double ran off to.
Okay, well,
Quite.
I'll go.
You
I'll
need
go
a
find
hand?
someone. Who's coming with me?
Skipper was.
Skipper.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll actually offer like an arm to Greenwave to kind of help him steady himself.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of do that. Also, while the others kind of like walk past, I'm gonna kind of halt Scarlet a bit and wait for them to pass and go by.
Okay. You guys can have your conversation.
Yeah, once they continue on, just now that it's become pertinent, I suppose I should show you this. And I'm going to hand him the letter that I found in the maze.
Okay.
All right.
Let me make that available. You should have access to it now, Clay.
And while he's reading it, once he's done, just kind of, say to Scarlet, no matter what, if somehow this compulsion requires Alexia to accompany Onyx. Don't let it happen.
Well, I've got a little bit of knowledge of that particular spell, and the spell that you agreed to was to get Onyx to her. That is all that should be compelled.
Correct, but if it turns out to not be the case, if need be, kill me.
Alright. If that's what we have to do, I'd rather not. If I have to, I can bring you back, but it won't necessarily be the same if I do that. It's not quite the same as a cleric. Priests. So, just a warning, I can kill you and bring you back, you just may not look like you do now. If it comes to that.
Quite.
You'll be the same up here, though.
For better or worse.
Also, this is a mess. As I'm reading this, I'm like, this is a really nasty mess.
Indeed.
We all got involved in this, because we all had something to do with that silk prophet.
Something to that extent. I still don't fully understand it myself. Also, we can't let Shemeska have that book.
Well, once we get the book, we can figure it out, because that's going to be a nasty fight. If we don't give her the book, we're going to have to leave Sigil again and find somewhere else. We could go to Faerun. I have contacts there still.
Perhaps.
It's my old home. I left the military on good terms.
Perhaps, but that is a decision for another time.
Step one is getting your kid.
And getting her somewhere safe.
Alright, well, let's catch up to the others then. I'll hand him the letter back and go, yeah, this is not going to be good.
I would appreciate it if we don't discuss this with everyone else. I somehow don't think they would understand.
Fair enough, sir.
Right, let's keep moving.
Yeah, I'll just help him.
Okay, Filbert, you've gone forward, I'm assuming, and...
Yes, with the skipper.
No, Skipper's going too. It's like the antithesis of, like, welcoming and unwelcoming at the same time.
It's good cop, bad cop.
It's gonna be fantastic.
There's this gentleman who's pushing sort of like this wheelbarrow. Something's inside of it with a tarp draped over top of it. He stops for a second to set it down. Oh, stretches his back. Oh, fucking bloody hell.
Hey there! Would you like some help? At least, just for now.
What in the fuck are you?
Well, what I am doesn't really matter at the moment. But my friends and I need some help to get to possibly an inn.
We need somewhere to rest.
Exactly.
Why the fuck aren't you in McConnus? Looking at Greenway, or at Skipper.
I didn't know I was in fucking McConnus.
Well, that's where you all come from.
Yeah, but I haven't been there in a long time.
I love this shit.
He pulls his flask from underneath of him and undoes it, looks into it. What the fuck did they give me? I don't fucking know, but it's fucking with my head.
Oh, well, maybe you need something better. How about this? And I just rummage in mine to get, like, some spare booze.
You ever had an epiphany that perhaps you drink too much? Not you, I mean me. I'm having the
she's
epiphany.
never had that sort of epiphany, ever.
Oh, you can never drink too much.
Yeah, anyway, in, right, I mean, we got an abandoned house down the road here. That's probably about as good as you're going to get down here in the slums.
Oh, no inns at all?
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while somebody goes past there and sells some stuff.
I'm guessing that would be you.
No. He takes the tarp off and, like, this, like, mess of flies escapes it. And, like, there's this, like, these rotting, twisted corpses in it. I'm just cleaning the streets, that's all.
Oh, what a...
Gross.
What a nice... we'll take the abandoned house.
Good choice. I'll highly recommend it.
Let's go tell the others about the abandoned house.
You sure you don't want this? And they
No, Filbert, he's fine.
Yeah,
Well,
listen
you
to the
know, at least.
thing here. I'm good.
Oh well. Would you? And then I lean close, like, would you like some coins?
You got
Why
some,
are you paying him?
you got some copper commons?
Wait, I'm sorry. There's two people that talk at the same time.
So you got copper commons for me?
Sure. And then I'll give him. You know what? I'll give him a gold, 3 silver, and the rest of my copper, which is 7.
Damn.
You just made him a rich fucking man.
He holds the coins in his hand. Yeah, maybe I don't need to quit drinking after all.
I'm gonna pat his back. No, just make sure you be careful with that.
Yeah, he cups it in his hand and starts to motion it into a pouch at his side. Well, I mean, it was lovely meeting you all, but I've got drinking to do. And he just sort of, like, tips the cart and walks on.
But I have a drink to here. I could have just given you one. Oh. Well, I guess more for me. Let's go talk to someone. Let's go back to our group.
Okay.
Right.
So Greenwave and Scarlet had their conversation, and you guys see the rest of them coming back towards them.
And where are we?
Alright.
I
I
don't
think
believe...
it's gonna take you a little while to get used to having only one arm, isn't it, Greenwave?
Oh, I have both my arms now.
Oh, that's right! I am not all here. I need rest.
Alright, so once we gather around, I'm gonna tell them that there's really not an inn that, that could be used, but there's an abandoned house that we can take over for now.
What is this place anyway? Did we figure that out?
It's supposed to be Mechanus, according to this weird guy with a wheelbarrow.
A wheelbarrow of dead people.
Of dead people.
Would I know anything about Mechanus? I really doubt it.
Yeah.
I think most of you would understand this is definitely not Mechanus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around and go, yeah, the lack of gears really says...
The lack of gears, the lack of, like, thousands of Modrons. Yeah.
I think you may have misinterpreted him, Skipper.
Or he lied to you? Maybe?
Yeah, I think he was a liar. I didn't take him
Well-
seriously.
Well, I mean, I wasn't here, but I highly doubt that even he, or that someone would randomly be like, this is Mechanus.
Well, I don't
Or
know.
you just
Filbert.
can't pick
What
up
did he say?
sarcasm.
What did he say, Filbert?
Oh,
Oh God, Filbert's too drunk to
No.
remember.
Do we know where the abandoned house is? We can go there, rest, and then try again after the rest.
Did the guy even show me? I think he did.
I believe he told you, didn't he?
Yeah. Well said, it's up over there.
Okay.
Oh, come on, let's not be goofy Gus's.
Look, we just need a place to set up
At the
camp.
end of the day, we are still in good health.
We just
We
need a
can
place to set
always
up camp.
face the tomorrow with a good fate.
I think he's too drunk.
Junik just starts walking towards the house.
It's
Yeah,
the goblin is like the voice of reason.
I'm suggesting we go. I'm just gonna kind of help Greenwave the
Let's
whole
go.
way till he gets fully steady again. And I'm gonna kind of lean over to Greenwave and go. By the way, talk to me later. I thought of something,
Hmm.
but we'll discuss it in private.
Right.
Secrets are no fun.
Secrets within the group.
What are your all's passive perceptions?
Mine
Mine's
is
12.
12.
14.
11.
Passive.
Junik is 14, probably the best of us. Maybe Cry if she's trained.
15.
Mine's
Yeah,
15.
Dang.
15.
Okay, Skipper and Cry. As you guys are moving along, from another alleyway, you spot a hooded figure draped in like these long, dark brown robes, very tattered, very torn. It's hard to make out what it is exactly, but you do see, like, as it's standing with its back against the wall, like this curled hand. It looks like a very lithe figure, and it's watching you all as you pass, trying to be stealthy about it, but you've picked up on it.
Cry turns to Skipper and asks, "Have you noticed someone following us?"
Yes, he seems to have a weird hand. Should we tell everyone else?
They've been through enough. Wanna investigate?
Yes.
Okay, just fall behind and let's sneak.
You lead the way.
Scarlet, trust him. If she even notices it, she won't care. Bless you.
Kitoon.
Okay,
Dude.
Oh god.
so Skipper and Cry fall behind slightly. Are you guys approaching, engaging?
Is there a way to sneak up on them?
Perhaps if you went around a different alleyway, you possibly could.
Should we do that, Skipper?
I'm pretty big, but sure.
Oh my.
Okay, let's try to do that then. Let's try to find an alleyway that can sneak us there.
Okay, are you informing the rest of the party that you're doing this, or just sort of disappearing?
No, just falling behind and disappearing.
Okay. Roughly a block later, you guys do find another alley you could turn down. You start to make your way down. It's trying to avoid the rummage that's sort of piled up on all sides of it, and begin making the turn back in the location where you saw this figure. I'm going to need stealth rolls from both of you. Oh, Lord. Do you have the ability now that all your rolls are considered 10s yet, or is that going to be a 1?
That's way later.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I think that's like 11th level.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember. So, Skipper is just darting through this alleyway, just almost insanely quiet for his frame and his metal body. But he's just finding the perfect places to put his feet down and just through these alleyways. Cry, on the other hand, is trying to follow suit, and her foot smashes down into this mound of organic material, and
Ew.
she just goes face first into this stack of rotten wood boxes, and just
That's what it sounds like.
I'm assuming it's very loud.
it's quite loud.
Oh God, no.
But obviously, we will get distracted by it. Oh, what?
Skipper turns around and, sawmill whisper, "Are you okay?"
No. Definitely not. What the hell is this?
What the fuck happened?
I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit trusty, okay? Do you think
And then
he
he just kind of grabs Cry to help her out, and he's like, "I don't fucking know. Probably that was super loud."
Okay, how about this? Let's rush and get him before he disappears. Or I think he knows we're here already.
Probably. So yeah, let's go.
Okay, so you guys are just gonna start busting towards it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, just
By the way, do
Yeah.
any of us hear the noise?
go ahead and give me perceptions. If you beat a 15, I'd say yes, you probably heard it.
I'm not going to be the 15.
Greenwave and
I-
Filbert definitely heard it.
There
Yay!
you go.
What the hell was that
What's
noise?
that? Hey, where's Skipper and Cry?
What? What's happening?
They're not with us anymore.
Oh, Jesus.
That's-
What did you guys hear?
There was some type of loud banging, I think.
Yeah, so you guys, I guess you're stopping and
Yes.
looking, and Skipper and Cry are definitely not with you. Your head snapping behind you to where you hear this noise. Not quite sure where it came from exactly, but it was definitely off the street itself.
I start running back the way we
Yeah.
came.
Okay.
Alright, so... we'll make this easy. I'm going to shift into a giant scorpion.
In the middle of the street.
Yes, I am. I have a 40-foot move speed as a giant scorpion. I'm faster.
Okay.
So
Wow.
you guys see suddenly where Scarlet used to be something new. She hasn't done this yet. She's a bright red scorpion.
Technically, do you have that yet?
I would think that... I don't know, because it's not a spell. It's just
No, I know.
it's a factor of my level.
Technically, we don't level till we long rest, which we haven't yet.
Alright,
That's a good point.
in that case I'll turn into some sort of bird. What do I got? I don't know, some
Oh, you
large
couldn't fly
bird.
to the
Eagle.
left of them.
Eighth.
Okay, so you guys stop, and Scarlet turns into this bird form. Back to the other
giant
two.
eagle.
And back to the other two. You guys are taking off down this alley. And you turn the corner, to where he would have been standing at. And he is just literally standing in the middle of this alleyway, looking down at you. Like down the path at you. Hasn't moved.
Before
Silent.
we even get
Like-
very close.
Like
Okay,
as soon
go
as you turn the corner of the alley to where he would be standing at, he's already expecting you and looking in your direction.
Does he say anything or just stare at us?
He's not saying anything, he's just eyeing you up. It's hard to see with the way how the darkness is of the alleyway. I don't
Have
think-
you been following us?
bows its head, and it pulls up these two serpentine type hands with these not long per se, but these jagged black nails, and pulls the hood up over its head. And what you would go for a dragonborn like Filbert looks like, similar, but much more serpentine neck, very thin figure. These black obsidian eyes. They just stare at you.
Gunty.
What are you?
So-
Why are you following us?
Real quick, I have a fly speed of 80 feet as a giant eagle, so the instant I see them, I'm gonna kind of look for what they're looking at.
Okay. I'll give you two a reaction to this before Clay comes in.
I think Cry said something. What did you say?
What are you and why are you following us?
I'm in the service of the dead king. We've been looking for you for some time.
For all of us or just one of us?
Most of you.
Why?
Because you served us once.
None of us remember anything that happened to us?
Have you found the book yet?
You will have to ask the goblin.
Eyes narrow. What goblin?
I'm not sure I should tell you.
See its hands start to reach up to this medallion that's underneath of its garb. It's pulling it up out of it. And the moment that it has a good hold onto it, like it starts to flare with like this light. Clay,
Yeah.
you come swooping around the corner and see the scene that I've been describing.
Do I recognize what that is?
You have no clue what in the hell it is.
Nope. Okay. So it's not a Yanti.
Definitely not a Yanti.
Okay, good. Does it look like it's threatening?
Possibly?
Possibly. I'm going to hover.
Okay.
Probably a good 60, 70 feet up. And I'm going to get about 70 feet away from it.
Okay.
That way, if I need to, I can rush it.
Do we recognize that Scarlet is the bird?
I've
Yeah,
never
you-
turned
yeah.
into a bird in front of any of you. This is all new.
Well, Cry is new, so she wouldn't notice it anyway.
The only thing,
And nor would Skipper, because I've never done the bird thing, and he was gone.
well, the only odd thing would be is there's like a giant eagle who would probably not be in sigil, let alone underground. So that might
I
be
am
your
large.
yeah. That
So
might
I'm like 8-foot wingspan.
that might be a reason to question it.
Okay, now what do we threaten?
Also, I think Filbert and Greenwave are running in, so I
Yeah.
don't know how long it'll take them to get there.
Probably Filbert won't take very long.
Filbert's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Junik following? I'm assuming.
Junik?
Yeah.
With his tiny little legs.
Tiny little stumpy legs.
Junip's
I
just
should've-
tired.
I should have picked up Junik. Aw.
But you
So I guess as all of this is happening, right? The eagle's flying over. Skipper doesn't even notice and would just think of it as weird, not as Scarlet if he saw it. But he just says, do you mean us any harm?
Depends. You still plan to bring us the book?
What book do you speak of?
I think he works for Shamaska.
I think so too.
Are you guys saying that, or is that out of character?
Saying that to each other.
Yeah, we'll make it as part of character, yeah.
Shemeska.
Okay, maybe not.
Shemeska works
I
for
think that
us.
upset him.
I do not work for common fiend scum.
Okay, maybe not Shamaska. Did you promise the book to anyone else? She asked Skipper.
One of you promised the book.
For some reason, I sense that Greenwave is the reason behind all of this again. Everything turns out to be Greenwave.
The Yuan-Ti promised, if I remember correctly.
Who promised? What did you say? I'm sorry, repeat that, Kevin.
The Yuan-Ti promised, if I remember correctly.
Do I hear that?
I'm sure you do.
I'm going to fly behind him. Like above, and then come around behind him.
Okay.
And then, if I've got still enough time, the instant I'm behind him, I'm going to shift out and put my sword up against his throat from the back.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna go, I promised what now?
The book. And I'd say this time would probably be when Filbert has arrived.
Do you
She'll be right
remember
back.
any of
She's
this,
grabbing
Scarlet?
it. Nope, don't remember a thing. I know somebody told me about a book. What happens if I don't get you the book? Because let me tell you something, that promise put me through a whole lot of hell and I am not happy about it.
Do you wish to die again?
Are you threatening me?
It's not a threat, it is a promise.
Well, unless I'm under some sort of magical compulsion, which I don't feel, how are you going to enforce killing me?
The Silk Prophet will make sure of it.
And I thought I had problems.
Ah, so
It
you
was
must
your
be one of
decision.
those. So you must be one of those Dre. Is that it?
I am one of the chosen, yes.
Well, I don't have the book. And if I get it, I'll decide what I'm going to do with it. But I'm not entirely certain I want to give it to a man who led me to my death.
Not our
whatever
fault
he
that
is.
you failed.
Oh, well, you know, if I failed, I would say the promise is off then, now wouldn't you?
Never stop working for the Silk Prophet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do.
So, are you going to stand here all day with a sword at my back, threatening me in turn?
Well, if you're not going to try to hurt us, I'll let you leave.
Perhaps not today. But soon.
I think you'll find things are a little different now. Go back to your master and tell him he can find some other lackeys to do his dirty work.
He raises his hands. The amulet sort of dangles back down to his chest. I yield, I suppose.
It's probably for the best.
I'm assuming this is about when I show up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull my sword away, but I'm gonna keep it within ready and just kind of move away and go. There you go.
Who's this person?
He sort of straightens these
I'm just gonna
tattered
look at
robes.
Greenwave and go. They work for the Silk Prophet. They want the book. I told them no. Because apparently this is what I promised, and I decided no.
Wait, that's the same Silk Prophet?
Yeah, the one that got us all killed.
I think I need to hear the story. I don't know what
Yeah.
I got myself involved in, but you sound like you're trouble.
Later.
You don't
Well,
wanna
once
hear
we
it.
get somewhere we can rest, sure.
Is it a good idea to?
Well, get out of here. I'm gonna kind of shove him a little bit. Let go.
Shouldn't
Sort
we
of
take his pendant?
He sneers at this, grabbing it in his hand. I shall see you again, all of you. And he starts to whisper something in sort of a... You would recognize it as Draconic,
I speak Draconic.
but it's
Me too.
a slightly varied form.
So we're hearing words, but they're in a weird
Right,
combination.
right.
So it don't make no sense.
Ah.
Got it.
Those who do speak Draconic,
I do.
why don't you go ahead and give me... Let's do an intelligence check.
A what now?
Intelligence.
Oh, no!
I'm actually good at that, but let's see if I
have a
roll.
-1.
God damn it! The 20's on the wrong side.
Wow. You want to spend some inspiration?
I actually would like to spend my inspiration.
Excellent.
I don't think I even have one.
We all
No, I
should
don't
have
one.
one. Unless
You all
spend-
rolled like shit.
Do I have one?
I don't have one anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
spent
think I
mine.
do.
So is it? Do I get the advantage or do I reroll?
Technically you would get a reroll, so,
Yeah, I'll reroll.
yeah.
It has a dragon symbol. You only get one.
Ooh, I have,
You did worse.
Oh, look at that! It's even worse.
I have an inspiration.
Then yeah, you can spend it. You just click on it and it goes away.
Yay! Oh, let's try it to see how I'll fail again.
Damn it, I'm using my inspiration too. We're gonna do this.
God damn, man! Fucking roll 20's like roll 20's just doing this right now. Roll 20 is doing like this. It's like you guys will never succeed.
No, you'll never know what he said. Never.
Okay, here, I'll turn it up. He wants for that inspiration, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh, it's fucking beautiful.
this is
What are these? These are the
horrible.
first fucking rolls of the night. These are the first real rolls out of the stealth rolls for most of us, and they're all.
Oh shit. That's hilarious.
You said you cursed your players. You proud of this? You proud of this?
The most you got out of that was in the name of, and that's it. And he vanishes from view.
In the name of the moon, I
All
punish you.
right, great, terrific. That's certainly gonna bite us in the ass.
We just
Oh.
wasted every bit of it.
So he was.
That was amazing.
So he worked for the Dre.
Yeah, he confirmed that he's one of the
Why did
chosen.
you not kill him?
Because we're already gonna make an enemy out of him.
Exactly. If he's already intending to hurt us later, why not just kill him now?
Because
I
some
didn't want
people
him to
have
know
no
that I'm
fucking spells left.
I agree with Green Wave.
Yeah, well, most of us aren't perfectly great right now.
Well, we're not bad people.
No, they're right, Filbert. He's gonna come back and try to kill us. I would just rather be fully prepared for it, Green Wave. Besides, you're still unsteady on your feet. We're all beat up. I ain't got no magic left. I think Junik ain't got nothing left.
I literally have one level spell left.
I feel
That's-
good. That's a chipper.
You
Well, at
always
least
feel
he's-
good.
Besides, we know they're
Silver,
gonna
if you
come.
weren't fucking chipper, then all of us would be worried to death. Nothing new.
Besides, Green Wave,
Oh.
we know he's gonna come. So we can be ready for it.
We'll all be ready.
The
Oh,
sooner we
trust
have
me.
it.
I'm with you on this, because he pointed out that I'm the reason they want the book. Well, they're the reason we all died. So, I think that's kind of, we tried.
What? We
So I was just gonna start doing this and be like, can we go rest now?
The sooner we
Just-
rest, the better.
And yes, Cry, we will explain the situation.
The better.
Don't worry, they've
I
still haven't
volunteer
explained it to
Filbert
me.
to explain.
If he's so sober enough.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
think
and as we're
someone else
leaving, I'm gonna
explain.
look over at Skipper and Cry and go, oh, by the way, I can turn into birds.
Yeah, kind of figured that out.
Now we know.
And next time, let us know if you're going to run off.
Well, I'm faster than most of you as a bird.
She
No,
made
he's-
me.
Oh, he's not doing
He's not
this.
going to
Cry.
cry.
Like, it's her fault.
She's a bad influence.
I wouldn't want to lose
Peer
you.
pressure.
Well, I had.
Well, when I get up near Gru, I'm gonna lean over and go, I'm not entirely certain I could have killed him in one strike anyway.
Most things will die in one strike if you stab them through the heart.
All right, so are we going to
Yeah.
this abandoned house now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys make your way out of the alleyway, and finally come to this broken down structure. Barely has a roof on it. Holes in the walls.
Isn't that cozy?
I'll take the first watch if you'd like.
Remember, I
I
can just
feel-
stay up all night.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting.
You guys are gonna take a
I
much.
love how, like, you're angry about that.
You guys are gonna take a much needed long rest. I'm assuming.
Dude.
Yeah.
Before the rest, I'm gonna pull Greenwave off to the side, just me and him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was thinking about it, and I realized something. So the geese spell, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
transfer on death.
No, I suppose it doesn't.
Yeah. So if you want, because I can now, once we rest and I charge my batteries, I'm gonna pull out that robe of the Archmagi and go, I can use this to power a spell to bring you back to life. If you want out of it, we can kill you, and then I'll bring you back. But your main come back is what you are.
Come back.
But it is a way out of that spell to make sure that you don't give up Alexia. I need to rest to do it anyway, so... And if you want me to do it, I need to know in advance. Because I gotta ask nature to give me the tricks.
I'll say keep it as a standby, but for now, we won't necessarily do that.
Alright. Right, then, I'm gonna go rest.
Quite. I'll take first watch, because I don't trust this house.
Excuse me.
You're gonna hang out with Skipper.
Skipper,
Skipper ain't
Skipper's
gonna
gonna.
sleep.
Yeah. Skipper's not sleeping.
That's true.
You need some rest, and then we'll go get your kid. Once we figure out where we are.
Isn't that always our, like, never-ending quest of what the fuck are we doing? Where the fuck are we?
You know, I'll actually stay up because I have all my key. I have all my hit points. I'm just down to 4 hit die, so I don't mind actually staying up. So just in case we need an extra eye, since we're in an abandoned house.
Greenwave, if you're like, or if he's walking by and you're basically like, I'm just gonna stay up. You need your rest, Filbert.
Oh, I felt pretty good.
You won't feel so good at 4 in the morning when you haven't slept for many, many hours.
Okay.
How does Cry feel right now?
Cry is suspicious of everyone.
By the way, I will, before I go to sleep, sit down with Cry and explain the situation.
As will Greenwave.
Well, the two of
What
us will
is
just
the
kind of...
situation? Like, what do I know now?
Okay, well, Scarlet's literally gonna lay it out. We woke up in Bator with scars, and I'll point out the ones that I've got on my abdomen where I got eviscerated.
I don't have them anymore, right? Like, I don't have the scars, or do I still have scars?
No, you do not have your scars, actually.
Nope, but I do. So I'm
I
gonna
don't
kind of
want
like lift up.
scars either.
I'm gonna lift up my shirt and go. Yeah. See, apparently the Lady of Pain killed me. We made our way through Pator. That was an adventure in and of itself, trying to get back here. Ran into Mercy Killers that were after Greenwave, or Onyx Tide. We're still not sure which one of him they were after exactly. Filbert got the wrong side of some Githyanki or Gizrazi?
It was Githzerai, yes.
Githzerai. Filbert's on the wrong side of some Githzerai for trying to steal a holy book. Skipper actually went sailing on some nautiloids with mind flayers. Not entirely certain what he was after exactly. And I was after that book. And this all ties to that Silk Prophet motherfucker who I just threatened to piss off again. That's the situation you've gotten yourself into.
Well, I suppose it's too late to run away now.
Oh no, they're the same thing with Junik. He wasn't part of this whole mess at the start, but apparently he knows Filbert. So. Oh, and Junik is a. Oh god, I really don't want to say it, but I'm gonna. Junik's a priest of Vecna.
Yeah.
Junik?
And is not on good terms with Vecna.
So that's a thing as well.
Yeah, we kind of fought Vecna like a form of Vecna. It was great. It's terrific. Wasn't it, Greenwave? It was great.
The best.
We are a deep pile of shit, and Scarlett's just gonna have a breakdown right there. She's just gonna start crying. She's like, "This is insane."
Greenwave kind of goes over. There.
I am sorry? Cry doesn't really know how to handle emotions, by the way, so...
Does Cry even really know much about Vecna?
She probably knows very little.
She probably knows what most lay people know. He's the
Yeah.
god of secrets, and he's not a nice guy.
He ain't good.
He's a lich, basically.
Yeah,
Hey, he's not good to you guys, but...
he's not happy with you either.
Because of you fuckers! Might I remind
But
you?
after a couple minutes of sobbing, she's just gonna kind of pull herself together and go, "I feel better now."
I'm gonna reach over to Cry and pat her shoulder and say, I won't fault you for wanting to leave us with all this mess, but if you do want to stay, we'll appreciate your companionship and your help in these trying times.
I'll sleep on it, just no promises until the morning. This is too much to think about right now.
No
Skipper
worries.
looks at Cry and he says,
If
"Do
you
you
need any
believe
help,
me now
sleep."
that I have no idea why you hate me?"
Well, I believe
Yeah,
that you don't know.
seriously, poor Cry. I mean, you're gonna hold it against a man who literally has no idea what the hell's going on.
Well, here's the thing. Whether he remembers or not doesn't matter. He's still the same horrible person. So I do believe that you don't remember. It just doesn't matter that much.
The next
Are
time
you
you
sure
fall
he's the
into a
same
box
person?
in an
'Cause he
alley,
did
I'm going
die.
to leave you there then.
I mean, he did die. Technically, we're not the same people we were before we died.
Just all of you go to sleep right now. We'll talk more in the morning if I'm in a good mood.
Well, he doesn't sleep, so good luck with that. But I'm going to bed.
We'll stay away
There's
from me.
no
Just stay in
bed.
that corner over
No,
there.
but we have bedrolls.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I'm gonna bust out my bedroll and go to sleep.
Okay.
Do you need something to sleep better, Cry? Cause I got some booze you can try.
Uh, actually, that's not a horrible idea. My head is throbbing.
Woohoo! I get a drinking buddy! So I'm gonna pop 2 bottles, one for me, one for her.
Cheers, I suppose.
And I'll toast, we'll do a toast to friendship!
Sure.
That awaits us!
Actually, right before bed, I'm gonna ask Greenwave. I'm like, I think I can try to find Onyx Tide tomorrow. Do you want me to give it a shot?
We probably should. The longer
Alright.
that we take to do that, the more time that those other assholes get a chance.
You guys get some rest.
Yeah, I'm gonna rest.
Yes, same here after the drink.
Green Wave is going to attempt to rest. It'll probably be like barely restful.
You want boost too? You
He just grabs the bottle from you and just
chugs it.
Most likely, yeah, you're probably gonna pass out pretty quickly. Anything else before you all lay your heads down for the evening?
Well, Cry will do one thing though. She will open her book and sketch out the guy that they met and make a note to herself that he's dangerous.
Okay.
And probably note down a few other things from the day.
Okay. Well, Skipper, you want to give me a couple perception checks for the evening?
Great.
Seems to be a fairly uneventful evening for you. You hear people out in the streets once in a while. Maybe somebody might poke their head, see that the building's occupied, and move on, but nothing threatening.
Thank Primus.
You probably see Skipper and go, oh, that's the one that's threatening.
That is an angry robot.
That's a big bitch. Okay.
That's a huge bitch.
That's a huge bitch.
Alright.
He's huge!
So you guys wake up a few hours later. Can't really tell if it's morning, night, whatever, but... What are you gonna do?
Well, Cry will first announce that well, I've decided to stay just because I want to see where this is going, and I did promise you to help. And you did promise me to get out of the cage, which I'm assuming you can fulfill.
Well, we're gonna probably end up having to leave here if we're on the wrong side of Shemeska, because I'm not entirely certain I want her to have that book any more than I want anybody else to have it.
Just know that the king won't... Just leaving here won't be very safe for us. Just because of that doesn't mean you won't get chased.
Oh, we're probably gonna get chased. I'm actually thinking after we get Alexia, his daughter, we might want to make a run to Faerun. That's my home. I still have people I know there that could probably get us hidden. Of course, that does mean dealing with my relatives, and they're not nice.
We could do that, or we could try to head to Yggdrasil.
Yeah, that might work. I don't know if I want to stay in the plains, though.
If we go against Shemeska, we shouldn't stay in the plains.
We'll figure it out. We still need to just get your daughter. By the way, I'm going to cast Good Berry and go, anybody want a berry? It'll fill you up. I'll pop one.
Yes.
I
Just
suppose.
because, like, he doesn't need it.
Just-
It's like, sure.
Filbert, you want a berry?
Oh,
It'll fill you up. Junic, you too.
Bury.
They're literally a berry. They're magic.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, Junic,
Yeah,
you want a berry?
sure.
Have a berry.
Num
That's
num num.
6 berries. I still got 4. I'm going to pocket the other 4. They actually heal 1 hit point of damage, so in emergency, because they last 8 hours, I can put one in your mouth. Wake you back up.
No.
Nice. Okay, so you guys
Alright,
pop
so,
through good berries.
Greenwave? You and Onyx Tide are the same person physically, right? Technically?
I think. I'm not entirely sure how the split worked.
Huh. Alright.
So what are we doing?
But you're probably going to look like him, only you're going to have... He would have blacker skin, is the thought, maybe. Or is just the same color?
He's
skin
kind of
again?
staring at you like,
I don't know. Alright, we're gonna do this the hard way. I'm going to attempt to cast Scrying.
Okay.
I have access to 5th level spells now!
This will be
Okay, well,
fun.
while he's trying to do that, I'm gonna be checking this book that I got.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
I
sure
guess
you'll-
I'll use like a font filled with, like, I'll fill something with some holy water or something. I don't know if I can even do it.
What do you need again?
Can I do scrying? Because of the material component.
I'm not worried about the material component.
Alright.
I worry about like expensive material components, you know.
Well, this one's 1,000 GP. It's expensive. It's
Yeah.
a pain in the ass. But it's a focus, not a burn.
Right.
So
You could probably use the robes or something in place of it,
Yeah.
because it's definitely worth $1,000 or 1,000 gold.
I guess I could use some of the magic in the robes. Just 1,000 GP of value out of it. I'm just gonna start siphoning magic out of the robes.
Go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw.
So, well, it's the target who makes one. And the saving throw is modified by how well I know and what physical connection. So, I'm going to try to use a little bit of hair from Greenwave
Mm-hmm.
as a body part. Which, if it does match, it's -10 to their roll. I don't know if you counted this firsthand. You have to add the modifier. So if it's second hand, they're going to get +5 to their roll. If technically I've met them, because Greenwave and them are technically the same,
Right.
they don't get any bonus.
Right.
And it's going to be -10 if the hair counts,
Okay.
or no modifier if the hair doesn't. The DC is 14. That would not beat a 14, even with +5.
No, will not.
So, I'm gonna get to see where Onyx-Tide is. And he won't have any idea I'm watching his ass.
Okay. So, I suppose somehow this projects an image across these robes, because normally I would say it'd probably be in the water, but your vision sort of escapes your body. Like it's soaring out across the astral plane almost, you know, searching for this soul, this body. And it loops around and comes streaking back towards your direction. And you look across familiar streets. Ones that you've crossed yesterday. Streets of the very area that you're in. And you see a figure who's, while he has these sort of drab, uncolored robes on, underneath of them you can see like the glint of chain, of armor.
Okay, so this is concentration up to 10 minutes, and it doesn't say I can't speak. Do I see the abandoned house?
You do not
Because
see
I
the
can
abandoned.
rotate my vision everywhere.
You don't see the abandoned house, no.
But I do recognize where he's going right
Right. You have a
Okay.
feeling that perhaps had you gone left instead of right, you probably would have ended up running into him.
now. Alright, I'm going to follow him and see what building he goes in, and I'm going to memorize the path.
Okay.
And I'm going to stay with him until he stops moving or until 10 minutes is up.
Okay.
And I am going to say, I've got him. And he's here. I'm following him.
During this 10 minutes, he seems to be doing some mundane shopping at the moment, just grabbing food items and necessities, bartering with who he can in the streets. He ends up making like this trail through the back alleys. Looks around, pops this grate open, and slips down into it. Going through these water tunnels, sewage sort of area, and starts winding his way down through it. You memorize the path as best as you can, but you do not get to see his location at the end of it before your spell ends. You have a general idea of the direction he went in, some of the paths he's taken, but not the final destination.
Alright. Okay. He's definitely here. And, I roughly know where he went towards, but unfortunately my spell dropped before I could see exactly where he's going. But he's in the sewers.
Ooh.
Well,
And I'm-
him seeing me coming beforehand would be bad. Give me a little while.
Alright. I don't think he maybe recognize. I don't know if he knows us.
I don't know if he knows you all, but he definitely would know me.
Well, he doesn't know me.
I'm going to go into my stuff, kind of go into a separate room, and
Shouldn't he know
start
us
trying
though?
start trying to apply like a disguise of some kind, trying to make myself look more like battle scarred warrior type thing, rather than just regular old green wave.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's gonna pass easily.
That's a good roll.
So you
I think.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I think we still we gotta make sure we be careful because Onyx Knight might still know us, because it's not, you know, we've been together. What if Onyx Knight knew us while he's like still inside? You know, just, you know, he may not be in the forefront, but he may be like aware what Green Wave, you know.
Yeah, we're
sees.
gonna have to be careful no matter what we do.
I mean, you all knew Greenwave before all this. And you all know of his quirkiness,
Yeah.
of his multiple sort of personality he seemed to display. I will give you
We're
that
gonna
much.
have to track him. Anyone good at tracking?
What's that?
Survival.
What's that? Survival. Oh, I have 6.
Filbert's gonna be our tracker, everybody.
If you know, I did, you know, once I woke up though, I did take a little swig, so I
Oh,
may
no.
or may not be good.
At
I'm
least
sorry,
I-
don't judge me.
Well, once we're ready, I will lead them to the grate and to the point where my spell ended.
Okay. And I think, Filbert, you wanted to look.
Yeah, like while Scarlet was doing his thing, they're talking
Mhm.
about this book. I remembered. Oh, I have a book on my own too.
Right.
And I wanna, you know, take a gander at it, see if I could make sense of what, you know, why. Well, I know why I took it, because I was forced to. But
Mhm.
what's so great about it?
Okay. So you take out this book, which is more of a... It's almost like a plate, of a copper plate that's got these interlocking circles. And along the rims are symbols. And playing with it a little bit, you can see that you can spin the plates themselves. Each ring is independent of each other. You start to examine it. Go and give me a wisdom check.
Ooh. Oh, not that great. Just a wisdom. Oh, why am I did save? My bad. I guess you can just use that.
Then suddenly you're like, it should be the same regardless.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay. So you fiddle with these a little bit, and you end up moving. Well, these two look similar, and this goes together. You're sort of just lining these rings up, and after you do, there's a sudden click, and the whole thing just starts to unfold right before you. And what you look upon seems to be a history of sorts of the past of the Githzerai. The story of how they became enslaved by the Mind Flayer at one point in their time. And how the Mind Flayers had ended up enslaving them by taking apart by taking a pot. Oh, Frog can't even fucking talk anymore. By taking away their knowledge of themselves to make them feel less than the mind flayers themselves. And it begins to start to teach you a lesson where the uprising of the Githzerai happened when the people came to know who they were. When they ceased to think of themselves only as just flesh or creatures with thought. That
Like instead of just thinking as a hive, or a part of the hive or something.
part of like the slave mentality. Like this is what they were destined for. When they started to break their chains of that, then there was this transition that began to just explode across the entire society. And they started to give up feelings of doubt, of greed, of jealousy, and all these things that divided them from themselves. All the things that attracted the Mind Flayer to them to begin with, to make them a race to be enslaved much more easily. They understood in turn that the Illithid, or the Mind Flayers, were a race that did not know themselves either. And they learned how to take this knowledge and turn it against the Illithid, and to begin their road to freedom from them.
Ooh.
Filbert, you, through the knowledge that you have learned from the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon, have now gained a permanent +1 increase in your wisdom score.
Oh shit.
Oh! Like what do we?
You change the number from like 14 to 15. You just gain a bonus. It's permanent.
I'm at 15 though.
Now it becomes 16,
Yay!
which means you get a bonus to the mods.
Sweet! Oh my goodness!
Man, did she already finish reading it too, or is there more?
It took her probably about an hour to get through that part of it.
I was probably prepping and getting everything ready for the hour anyway. To
Yeah.
do the, plus breakfast and all that.
Breakfast.
Well, this I gotta really protect this now. I gotta give this text back to the Githzerai. I know they're gonna, well, or at least, can I just destroy it? No, wait.
You should probably give it back, and that will probably make
No,
them
but
forgive you.
no, mine is just a copy, or is it this something that?
I think you have I think she has a copy that we took off the damn. What the hell were they? The Mercy Killers.
Yeah, because isn't that like when I got the arrow, like when the first sign before I came to Bathor is I failed
Yeah.
to get the actual thing, and then now I have a copy of it. Wouldn't it be better if I just destroy it?
If you're done with the book.
Yeah.
Did you read the entire book?
Well, yeah. I'll wait to see what else happens.
Yeah, read the entire book first.
Yeah, you feel like you may have unlocked one of many circles this book contains. One of many
Yeah.
combinations.
Yeah, you're gonna be reading that book for a while.
You're gonna
Um,
end up like Guy from Naruto.
Filbert, why don't you go ahead and give me an insight check too while you're at it.
Okay.
So this ought to be good. Oh, Filbert's got +7 to insight. Damn.
Not bad.
Whoa.
It's still bad though.
You're reading, after you finish reading this, you're ingesting this information, and you feel perhaps, maybe at one point, that this was relevant to the mission that you were sent on to begin with. You know that you had been somewhat subcontracted from the Illithids to go into this monastery of the Githzerai, and you feel perhaps maybe, just maybe, this was a way for the Illithid to start to understand the Githzerai. Perhaps this was a jumping point for them to regain mastery over them. Perhaps you were that catalyst.
I don't know if I feel.
You're probably gonna want to destroy it when you're done with it.
Yeah, I know for sure I want to destroy it. Like I know for sure I want to destroy it because well, already I don't like the mind flayers. I know the Gets Right killed me, but that's not their fault. They're trying to break free, but I don't know if I feel comfortable holding this information.
So,
All right.
we have Greenwave, who's disguised himself.
What does he look like?
What do you look
He
like?
has his mustache. It's just really well done this
I
time.
was gonna say this one's actually like kind of well done. Kind of got like a big scar kind of going down the face. There is kind of like beard type thing and kind of straggled up the hair. He looks like Seafarer.
I didn't know any better. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
So what's your all's plan?
Well, my current plan is to lead everyone to the point that I lost him at, and then start having people try to track him through the muck.
We need to
And we
divide.
gotta go fast, because we can't lose the trail.
Are you going to divide the party?
What
I
does the
don't think
location like?
I don't think I would. Once we get down there, I want to kind of get an idea of what it is we're in, like where we are down there.
Okay. What'd you say, Jasmine?
No, I was asking, do we know what the place is yet? Or, like, have we gone there?
That's what I'm proposing. Is I'll lead you guys to that point, and then we figure out what we're gonna do once we get down there, track him or something.
Sounds good.
I'm trying to understand the point of the disguise.
Essentially, essentially in Greenwave's mind, he does not want his daughter to recognize him
Oh, okay.
more than anything, but he's using the pretense of not wanting Onyx Tide to know him.
Okay.
Because Onyx, and it makes sense because Onyx Tide, if he sees us but doesn't see Greenwave with us, he might assume we're there for something else.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do we want to at least disguise some of us? So that way it's like,
I do not know how to disguise myself. Do you?
I don't know.
Yes, that'd be a
Time for this, lads.
That would be a bad idea, because if we tried to disguise ourselves and failed, and we won't know if we failed, he will very clearly recognize that we are trying to be sneaky. like having a disguise that really is not good is very clearly, oh, they're trying to be sneaky.
Let's get this shit show on the road.
Good accent, keep that up. What do we call you? Eric. You look like an Eric, right?
Steve the pirate, obviously.
No, I want Steve.
Call me Steve.
Steve.
Alright, Steve!
Hi, Steve.
Alright. I will lead them to that point, and then I'm going to say, so if any of you guys can track, this is where he ended up. I'm going to point where he was going, like the direction he had been originally moving in.
Okay.
Is tracking survival or?
Yeah.
Me.
Never mind.
I
Aye.
get survival. Let me track. Let's see. It's big numbers. That's
Oh, yeah.
okay. It's okay.
It's just
Yeah, I like how the druid, the nature wizard, has no skill in
idea.
this so fucking ever.
no idea. So you lead them to the grate, and I'm assuming that Filbert drops down and starts to do her tracking, or his tracking. I apologize. So what sort of order are we talking here?
Well, obviously I'm in the front,
Okay.
tracking.
Steve will probably be side by side.
Yeah, we'll put Steve up with Filbert. I'll actually take the rear.
Okay.
I guess I can't actually hear Brax if he's talking.
I said I'm just gonna be flying like above the party.
Well, it's a sewer.
We're in
So
a
Yeah.
sewer now.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're right. Never mind. I'm just
you can hover over the muck though.
true.
Brax found a wall hack.
Lucky.
We'll put Unic on top of Filbert.
Why don't I'll be in the back. I'll bring up the rear. How about
Yeah, I'm just gonna be on someone. I don't care
We'll put you on me. That way you're not interrupting Filbert.
Okay. So these
I can carry it.
these tunnels you drop down into are maybe 6 feet wide, not huge. You won't be blowing up into any large scorpions down here, probably.
Oh, it's only 10. If it's 10 feet wide, I can. Scorpions
6
are only
feet.
large.
Yeah, it's about 6 feet wide.
Curses!
Yeah. But
I now picture condensed
yeah,
scorpion.
they're
with-
it's yeah, it's tight quarters to say the least. But it's not. I mean, it's a sewer, so it's obviously not clean. But there's not a lot of water running through it. It's a lot of stagnant pools. Of course, the stench is overwhelming.
I will suggest to Steve to light a torch,
I
or
have
some
candles.
or candle, or some sort of light, because Filbert can't see in the dark.
I have 5 candles. We can each carry one to help fill.
Oh, I see. I
He's
see.
got a torch, lass. You need him on the sea, don't you know?
I have dark vision, so I don't care. Like for Filbert.
This Steve shit is killing me. I'm sorry.
You know what? I've got some torches in my pack. I'll pull one out and use Druidcraft to light it. Ooh.
Ooh.
Someone's
actually-
finding a use for that useless skill.
Shit.
It really is. I'll pass it up to Steve so Steve can light the way.
Okay. So Steve the pirate leads the way. I guess. Well, I mean,
With Filbert
Filbert has to be
doing the
near him.
tracking.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the two of them move forward. Filbert, with his role, is lucky enough to find some like trace markings where footsteps have pressed into the softer parts of the remnants, to say a nice way of it. Of the and you guys are making what you feel is fairly good progress. Make your way under several more storm drains. The light just sort of flickering down, and the air filled of little specks of, little motes of light from the dust that's from the particles in the air. And you start to divide off of the main path from the streets itself to where the buildings would be located, and come to a larger section of the sewerage system where several more tunnels like the ones you've come from sort of drain into this main one. And they're standing sort of with crossed arms is a young, what you would assume would be a water genasi female with these sort of robes. She's sort of watching you. Doesn't recognize any of you per se.
She's a waterbender.
What do we do?
Hello, miss.
She turns and looks to her right, and from the shadows, a figure steps forward, looking much like Greenwave. with a little twisted mustache upon his lips.
He's got the stash!
I was hoping he was gonna say that.
She goes, Da. Do you know these guys? And Onyx Tide walks into the light. I know a few of them. What, or should I say, why are you tracking me?
We come in search of something.
I gotta make a roll on that one, I'm sorry.
To be fair, I do have actor as a feat,
You do.
Oh, fuck.
so I can disguise my voice even.
I'll tell you what, I'll give him disadvantage on it. Oops, I don't know what I just did.
Yeah, Steve's got the right of it. We are looking for something.
Okay, yeah.
We're looking for you, Onyx.
And why would you be looking for me, Scarlet?
I'm just gonna look at Steve and go, would you like to take the lead on this? You're new here. You got wrapped up in all this nonsense. You and Cry over there.
We've come at the behest of a couple people. One in particular, someone that you might know very well. Apparently. Mighty fine fellow, looks quite a lot like yourself, dashing and all that.
Greenwave, then, eh?
I believe that be he name.
Right. Skipper. Good to see you again.
Nice to see
Ah.
you as well.
Filbert.
Hi there.
It's been some time.
I guess it has.
So why has Greenwave sent... He sort of puts a hand out towards Steve.
Well, firstly, he be needing you to go to Ravel.
Oh,
I
really?
believe that was her name.
Yeah, that's her wonderful, ever so wonderful name.
Why in the nine hells would I do that?
Said something about you possibly wanting to repent for something you did. He also was wanting the book. Some book. Trying to keep it away from some bastards that are following him.
That one I can answer. It's the Book of Vile Darkness, and I need to keep that away from everyone. And I do.
Considering the
mean
name, I'd say away from everyone would be a fucking good idea.
Sort of instinctively puts an arm around what you would assume to be Alexia. I'm not going back to the Hag.
I really don't want to make you do it, but I will if I have to, Onyx.
I mean, I have to watch after Alexia. They've been hunting us for so long.
If we might have a word. Kinda.
We're not gonna hurt Alex. I'm gonna look at him and go, you know me, I'm not gonna hurt her.
If we might have a word in private, you don't mind. He gave kinda specific instructions that none of these folks can hear.
Okay.
Jennick's gonna whisper something in Scarlet's ear.
Yeah, what's up?
can hold it. I can dominate him if or try to.
Well, I'll just look up and just kind of shake my head for now, like, no.
Okay, so they go off to the side. What is it?
Kind of, going out of Steve
Okay.
nonsense. Just. We need to discuss this fully.
You were always one very good at disguising yourself. You should have known better.
Quite. I'd say you should, but I'm still not entirely sure what the hell is going on with us being separated.
It's a long story. But I'm still confused. Why would I go back? Why would you even ask this of me?
We required information from Ravel, of course, considering that I don't have any fucking memories of what happened. I did manage to find mine letter.
Well, I guess technically they'd be mine. But yes.
Whatever it is. I am unsure of what we can do, but the only way that we could think to get the information we needed and get out at that point was to offer up one of us. I am currently under a geese to try to get you back. We may have a way around it, although I don't know what Rabble might be able to do.
So, if I go back, and this is a huge if, you assume that the Mercy Killers will be called off?
If she's the one who sent them, I would assume so.
He nods. And what of the Dre?
I intend to take care of them.
You're going to take care of Alexia?
As best I can, yes.
We turned our back on her once. We can't do it again. You understand this, right?
I understand this. I will probably... Greenwave kind of hesitates. Even if I have to stay in disguise, as it were, the entire time, I would prefer that she did not know who I actually was. But I will watch her.
I will consider it. But I feel like all of us have much we need to talk about.
Quite.
He sort of motions back to the main group.
That Greenwave bastard's quite the fucking jokester, ain't he?
He sort of shakes his head and starts walking back to the rest of you. And what are you all doing in the meantime?
I'm just going to be keeping an eye out
Okay.
for everything. Like, I'm watching where we came from.
Okay.
I would be focused on what she assumes is Greenwave's daughter, trying to read her body language a little bit.
Okay. Scarlet, you start peering around this main chamber. There are 6 tunnels that come into this part of the sewer system. One that you came from, 5 others that exited. Are you going to be going one by one, listening? Anybody else joining him in?
Well, listening, and I have dark vision, so I can see 60 feet down.
Okay. Is anybody else assisting this?
I also have dark vision, so sure, why not?
Okay. Okay, so I'll give you all the option to either roll individually or give your roll to somebody else and give them advantage.
I'll give it to Clay.
I can do that too if you need to.
So Cry, you do your own, and I'll take the advantage.
Okay.
What's the roll again?
Perception.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that advantage for the 18.
Can I roll to give to someone?
Unless you don't have the
I don't
distance
have-
we do. You've got like 40 feet on the torch, and half of that's dim.
Oh,
I've got 60 feet in black and white.
okay.
Okay.
It's best you keep an eye on the girl.
So,
Okay.
so Scarlet got advantage,
So I have an 18.
right? Okay, so
Junic's got an 8. Because
um,
Junic is sitting on top of my shoulders this whole time.
right. So Cry and Scarlet assisted with Skipper. You feel that you hear perhaps footsteps echoing. Hard to place where particular tunnel it comes from, as the whole system sort of mazes in on itself as it is. Not sure the number, where they're coming from, but something is down here in the distance. Doesn't sound like it's close.
The instant I hear it, I'm going to come up to, God, I already forgot her name.
Alexa?
Alexia.
Alexia?
Yeah.
I'm just going to go, hi, Alexia. I'm a friend of your dad's. Are you two the only ones down here?
I mean, as far as I know.
Yeah, because you're not.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Great. Grab your dad. Because there's some really angry people after us, not
Okay.
just you.
And before this exchange, Cry, I want you to give me an insight on Alexia.
Alright.
Since I'm next to
Okay.
her too, do I need to roll one?
Well, she was specifically
Yeah.
studying Alexia.
You see by her body language that she's definitely nervous. She carries scars, though, at the same time. She seems like she is fairly capable. More nervous at one, it's she knows that she's in the presence of people who were her father's companions, so she has a slight comfort in that, but also with people that she does not know. Also, given the situation that she's in, she's on edge. Very alert.
Well, we know she needs boost to get her off that edge.
The solution to every problem, according to Filbert. Beer!
I
Drinks!
don't know if the Green Wave and Onyx Side will comfortable of someone plying their daughter with boost. So
Is
I'm gonna keep my.
Is Onyx tied back near me again?
Yes.
'Cause if she ain't, yeah, if she ain't gonna walk over quick enough, I'm gonna walk over and say there's footsteps down here.
Onyx Tide nods and says, "Follow me."
Let's go, guys.
Cry will probably move closer to the girl just to keep an eye on her in case she needs something.
Okay.
Filbert, do me a favor, stay to the middle,
Dookie dookie.
near the girl.
Sure thing.
Skipper, rear. Steve, you escort the girl with Onyx, and I'll be in the rear with Skipper. And Junic will be with me. Pat.
So, let's do this again, where I know that Junic and Scholar will be the last ones to leave the chamber, as Onyx Tide starts to take you away from it. Down, if you were looking north, it'd probably be the middle passage in the north side. Why don't you guys go ahead and either give me perception separately or one with advantage?
Let's just all do perceptions.
Yeah.
There, I'm crap.
Oh, nice.
Let's go, baby!
Skipper will be right in front of me, so thankfully if he hears something, he'll hopefully tell me. Junic, Filbert, make them perceptions.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we all do it?
I think he said everybody, yeah.
Was it? Oh, yeah.
I'm letting everybody do it. The people who are in the back, I'm going to give more leniency to.
Which would be me and Skipper and Junic.
Right. Okay, Skipper, where are you at in order here?
Right in front of Scarlet with Junic on Scarlet.
Okay, excellent. You are looking back as you are exiting this main passage, and from the 3 southern tunnels, you start seeing these lithe, thin forms dropping down from the tunnels into the chamber below. One after another. After
Do
another.
I recognize this at all, or?
You feel that they may be very similar to the one that you met yesterday.
Okay. Skipper immediately, alerts the party. He doesn't shout. He's like,
Right.
Scarlet, look.
I'm gonna look. Do I see it?
You see it, yeah.
Great.
They are fast on your tracks right now.
So
They're here.
we're probably not gonna get away. I'm just gonna turn right around and just go, we got company.
And I look at Cry and say, they're back.
This room is big enough for me to shift, correct?
Yes, it would be.
Yeah, I'm shifting immediately now into a giant scorpion.
Okay.
And this will be the first time you've all seen this. And guess what? Junic, hey, you're riding me.
So there's that sound of tearing flesh and bones breaking and reforming as Scarlet just erupts into this giant form that none of you have seen before.
It's a big old red armored looking insect motherfucker with 2 big old pinchers and a giant ass pointy tail.
This big.
You
Wait,
never
did you want
cease
me?
to amaze me.
Nope, I did not. So now you're sitting on top of me.
I feel like Junic would have just fucking toppled off. It's not very
Rolled off.
dexterous.
Well, remember,
Recycle.
I'm also shifting down into something that's kind of low to the ground and about 8 feet wide.
I'd still probably fall and trip.
It's gonna be a nice kite in the
I need
shell.
one good Junic moment. I need a. Hold, what is this? What is going on? What is happening?
If I wasn't so fucking tired, I'd give it to you, but
Yeah,
yeah, I can't do the voice
I've
today.
had a feeling.
That's okay, you got Steve.
We got Steve, the pirate paladin.
Say,
Oh, hey guys, there's a
Pirated.
big scorpion out here.
so, seems that we have a conflict erupting before us. The Dre have found you. They have tracked you.
Now it's time for a fight.
And now it will be time for a fight. Well, next time it will be, yes.
Next time.
Yay!
Next time
on
they-
Planescape Z.
Skipper's going full rate. First
Y'all can just refer to
Let
me
me
as
raise
Mr.
you.
Pinchy.
Mr. Pinchy.
Mr. Pinchy, rip them apart.
Dun, 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 dun.
Click,
sorry.
clack, click, click, clack.
I was thinking of
clack.
Steve the Pirate from, like, Dodgeball. Do you know what I mean? Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yar.
So I was thinking of that little nerdy kid's on there. He's like, don't you remember Steve the Pirate? He's like, who's Steve the Pirate? What are you talking about?
Oh,
And
I
then-
totally remember.
And at the end of the movie, he comes back. He's like, look, guys, it's Steve the Pirate. And they're all like,
Right,
what?
yeah. Vaughn's like, well, if you're not a pirate, who am I going to share all this buried treasure with?
Oh.
It's like it hurt.
Peter! I love that movie so much. Okay, guys. So next week we will start with combat.
Yes.
Yes.
Your first interactions with the Dre. Okay, excellent. So I have been Saverick. I've been your dungeon master this evening. Hope everybody had a good time. I had a great time getting back in the DM seat, and I don't have too much going on right now. Hopefully in a couple weeks I'll have something to talk about. But otherwise I have this. And it's been great having you all back. I missed you all so much. I wish I could have dragged you all to Gen Con with me. It'd been amazing. And we could have done this like face to face. Oh, it'd be fucking amazing. But otherwise, anybody else have anything else going on? Anybody want to talk about anything?
Well,
Really?
Nothing out of the ordinary for me. I mean, we just started Breath of the Wild on the stream, and that's probably going to be the game for the foreseeable eternity, because it's Breath of the Wild.
True that, true that.
So technically I'm streaming tomorrow morning around 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's probably going to be Fallout 4.
Ooh.
I have this urge to kill raiders and run around the waste a bit. Other than that, I'm actually fundraising to go to Gen Con
Yeah.
next year, so I can meet Saverick over here. Where he
Yeah.
is on my screen is this way.
You're over there on mine, but yeah, he's going to be my roommate, perhaps. We shall see.
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
Go
we
get
shall
it
see. If I meet my goal, and I am 52% of the way there, which is crazy.
It's
With
still
like
got
a whole
about
nother
a
year.
Yeah, you got about a year to go
I
yet,
do.
still, so.
I have a freaking. It's like, yeah, if I meet it, everyone's just like, dude, you have a year. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Just remember to keep reminding people.
Yeah, well.
Community Collective went, maybe, bitch, you're going. Give us a couple weeks.
Yeah, probably. At the rate we're going. Other than that, though, I'm probably going to have a new article up in a week or two. I'm
Nice.
still not sure what it's going to be about. I kind of want to, like, I want to talk about like so many different things, like warlocks. Yeah, I want to do something about warlocks and like clerics and paladins and why they're fun to roleplay because you have that connection to like a greater organization or a greater being.
Yeah, I agree.
For the most part.
I love warlocks. I love them role-playing wise. I've come to understand that playing one is not as fun mechanically, but live and you learn.
They're weird mechanically.
Yeah, you really have to have a DM that's like willing to let you have them short rests and stuff to make them worthwhile. I forgot too. I'm going to be on Phantom Roll Booth next Saturday. I can't remember what time it's going to be.
I believe I am too.
Yeah, you are too. So
You guys get to try Cypher System.
yeah, we're going to be playing Numenera, I believe. So
I believe so, which I know nothing about, so
I
that'll be interesting.
don't either.
Okay, here's
But-
what you need to know about Numenera. Whatever you think is weird, make it weirder.
Let's make it
Like
plain.
Made
that's the
RPG?
No, more like Made RPG is anime weird. This is more like fantasy tech sci-fi weird.
Final Fantasy.
Yes, Final Fantasy is a good example. Yes.
What about you,
So I
Brax?
obviously need to play Locke.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, a treasure hunter would fit perfectly into it.
I'm going to play
Oh.
like Squall.
Oh
So you
yeah.
want to be a moody person who never goes after anyone.
Exactly. Do that or like play Keistis, you know, like the naughty school
No,
teacher.
no, Sav, you need to play the hell was Squall's rival? I can't remember.
Cypher, yeah,
You need
yeah.
to play Cypher.
Yeah,
He's angry all the time and calling people chicken wuss.
that would
Come
be
on,
amazing.
chicken wuss.
What chicken was? What you, Brax? You got
No,
anything going on?
Not much, man.
No?
Honestly. So busy with work. I mean, I still stream every Monday and Wednesday, but that's in fluctuation because, hell, I can barely keep up with life right now. But if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, that would be super awesome. @BraxCMG.
Mhm.
If you follow that, you can quickly figure out what kind of shenanigans I get into.
And when you do, send him cat pictures.
He loves cats so
I-
fucking much.
I'm gonna kill both of them.
Send him
Send them
cute,
all the
cute
cat-
kitten pictures every day.
No, I'll delete
I-
my account.
I should totally just ask my followers to do it.
No, you should not.
Oh man.
I'm not even sorry.
know.
How about
I'm
you?
not gonna do that to you, Brax.
Jay, you got anything going on? Or
Nope.
No.
I'm on Twitter and yeah.
just getting better from being ill? I know I will call you Junic now. Shell has nothing to announce.
Actually, the beginning of the month, I'm gonna be attempting to get my wisdom teeth taken out. So I'm gonna be drugged.
He gonna be
Weird.
Make sure you get some good games to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be taking like 10 days off of work.
She gonna get high.
How about Miss Jan? Does Jan
Get
have anything
high.
to say?
They started or something.
I'm good. I just want to say thank you for listening to my weirdness
We love
and
your
my
weirdness.
my horrible attempt of a Mickey Mouse SK voice.
We love the Filbert voice.
It's
great.
my favorite.
Yep.
Filbert voice is the greatest thing that's ever been created, and you're not weird, honey. In this fucking group, you're normal.
The thing is, Jan, is like when RPGN had our clip on there, like you were a hot topic on there. So
They were.
Oh.
yeah, like oh, we love this voice.
I told you, it's a good voice.
It is. It's
You have good
bird.
characters.
Yeah.
Ezip was a good voice. Filbert's a good voice. We need to bring like Filbert back. I need to run a game. Not Filbert, Ezip. We need to run a game with Ezip again. And
Oh god.
and Garvik. Do that together. Oh my god.
And you're also doing some artwork for me that I love.
I need to hurry up and start taking commissions so I can pay you.
Ain't that the damn truth?
Yes,
You ain't gonna get away from
my latest Twitter icon was created by Jan, and it's amazing.
I'm not gonna lie, Jen. I would fucking pay you to draw our goddamn character art.
What is it, Brax CMG, right?
On Twitter,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Our Twitters are handily underneath our portraits right here.
And you're still
Brax, you should tweet Twitter.
I should do what?
Chitter. That's all I heard.
I'm not drunk.
No, she
I'm
said
drunk.
check Twitter. I don't trust it. If it's a cat, I'm killing you all.
But then who will hate you?
Wow.
Turn the computer on. Kill it. Kill them all.
I'm drunk, but yet I'm great.
God! I see it. I see it.
I legit, if
back
they
to
got
you.
inside of my computer, those are dead kitties, bro. I'm not even lying.
Thank God.
Poor kitties.
All right.
Well-
I think we've caused enough shenanigans, Tom. And other stuff as we.
We're gonna
as
take
we,
our impending
sit there.
deaths offline. So, thanks everybody for showing up. Thanks guys for showing up again. And we will see you next week. No, not next week, but the week after next week.
Well, you guys should next week check out the Phantom Roll Booth channel so you can watch Sav and Virus play some Numenera. Because I'm totally going to watch that because I want to see that shit.
All
Is it
right.
the one where you'll be Flavion?
He's bringing Flavian
It's
back,
not.
I think.
It's not gonna be for Numenera. It's gonna be for a different game.
Oh, no, that's right. The Flavian thing is for the wedding
Yes.
one shot.
Yeah, for with JT.
JT.
Yeah. JT. And that's not going to be till like September 8th, I want to say, or something like that. So it's a little while away yet. So, but yes, we'll be on there. I'll be on there with Nazul. I'll be on there with Von Stott, Chaotic Anarchy, and Jeff Kramer. And JT's going to be running it. So it's going to be fun. I can't wait. But I will let you all know when that's going down. But for now, goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Have a great evening, whatever it might be where you're at. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time. Peace.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Later, folks. Clack, 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 clack.
Penis.